Good evening and good morning from wherever you are, and welcome. We have an update on the release date slate of the MCU, and of course, we are going to do a video about it because, well, frankly, we've got nothing else to do, and thought, why not? It's a good opportunity to talk MCU stuff. Joining me, I'm of course Fistman, and I have Jabba the Slut with me on the stream. That-
Nice.
yeah, that's you for today. And yeah, we're just gonna have a quick discussion about the MCU stuff getting moved and jiggled about. Only one of those has been brought forward. The rest have been moved back. Why it's happened or not, we don't know. But let's go in with a date. So Captain America, Brave New World, which had a nice name change because New World Order is not very original. But it was slated to come out on the 3rd of May, and now it's going to come out on the 26th of July of 2024. Thunderbolts has been moved from the 2nd of July 2024 to all the way back to December of 2024. Blade, this film is never coming out, so expect it to be moved again.
Valentine's Day.
Yes, so what better way to do a nice romantic date with your partner than to go watch a Disney vampire film? So that's
Why
been
not?
pushed back from the summer, that's June of
Oh,
2024
j-
to
before you
Valentine's
go,
Day
before you go,
2025. Yeah, go on.
before you go on, just to add, Deadpool, the first one, did also come out on Valentine's Day. So there is a place for like funkiness, to come out on Valentine's Day, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
but that was marketed beautifully as well. Like if you look at the
Yeah,
marketing for Deadpool, because it was coming out Valentine's Day, and that back then, back like before John Wick and Deadpool, that was like January, February was the dead months. Like you brought out shit films around there, but John Wick and Deadpool completely changed the game. So now there's always slate of good shit. Well, supposed good shit coming out around January, February, whereas before it was like the month of just get it out there and get it done and dusted. So, the Deadpool film has been brought forward. So it was going to come out November the 8th, 2024, and it's actually been brought forward to the 3rd of May of 2024. Fantastic Four moved back yet again. It was going to come out Valentine's Day, but it's been moved back to the 2nd of May of 2025. Avengers Kang Dynasty, uh, with a new look, Kang, most likely, was going to come out 2nd of May. It's been moved back to the 1st of May 2026. So it's been pushed back a whole year. Sorry, 2nd of May 2025. It's been pushed back a whole year back to May of 2026. And Secret Wars has been also been pushed back a whole year from 2026 to 2027. So that's a big shift. The likely reason for this is probably because of the writer's strike. That's why Deadpool has been moved forward to kind of help cushion that blow because that film has been written and done. And the best part is Ryan Reynolds is not allowed to improvise any other lines to what's been written. Apparently, that's what I think Cheeto alluded to that because it's considered writing. So therefore, we don't get any jokes that are in there. They have to stay in there now. They can't do anything different. So yeah, what are your thoughts, Zamo or Jabba?
um, I sometimes think I sometimes get pissed off when stuff gets delayed, but at the same time, I try to look at the brighter side of things and think to myself, okay, they've got an opportunity here to right some wrongs, resolve some issues, make some tweaks, improve things, and that's what I'm hoping we will get. And as the schedule progresses, there seems to be less and less on the plate. Like 2026, only one movie by the looks of things. That's an Avengers film. 2027, just another movie on its own. By that time, we'll be close to 20 years of the MCU, which is incredible.
Fucking
When you think,
hell.
I mean, um, but I'll tell you, there are certain things that are annoying me now. I've been reading some news regarding some of these films,
Yeah.
and once again, it's Blade. I'll read this little snippet here. The reveal of Mahershala Ali as the star of the Blade. They wrote "start" the fucking idiots as the star of the Blade MCU movie, Rock Comic Con 2019. I mean, that's 4 years ago. Yes, the Daywalker made famous by Wesley Snipes coming to the MCU. Unlike Deadpool 3, this will be a PG-13 and not rated R affair. Little else is known other than Stacey O.C. Kufa, HBO's Watchmen, being signed on to write the movie.
Okay.
Blade was originally set for a November the 3rd, 2023 release date, but was pushed back when the original director Basim Tariq left. The latest casting news is actually pretty great, as reports that Maya Goth is joining Marvel's Blade in a to be announced role. Blade may be delayed as one of the projects on pause due to the writer's strike. So, writer's strike or not, you're making this film PG-13. This is exactly what I was worried about. Yeah, this film should not be a PG-13 movie whatsoever. Welcome, Daniel Vance.
Yeah,
we know about this. We'll get to this in a bit.
Yeah, we'll get to it in a bit. Yeah.
And so Gary joined us as well. But making Blade a PG-13. This is why people were so worried. How can you make this film out of all the movies you're going to be making? You're going to make this one part of that PG-13 conveyor belt. You can make an exception here and there for a film that doesn't have to be part of that genre of like kiddie family movies. Make this one an adult-orientated comic book film. When maybe he plays part of the fucking Avengers, maybe you can water him down a bit there. But in his own movie, it's got to be blood, guts, and fucking F-bombs galore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sexual nudity and shit like that.
Yeah, massive tits flopping about the place. Blade's tits, you know. Let him have a man.
Hot,
with a
sexy
crap
vampires, man. You know, sucking on long veiny necks. You know what I
mean? Nice save at the end there, mate. Blade. Look, it's not just Blade. It's that whole like, if we ever go down the MI13 route, which is the kind of supernatural, the Hellblade version of the MCU, which is like oh god, what's his name? Fucking from the DC universe. Does all the demon stuff. Blonde bloke.
Dr. Fate.
No. God damn it. Gary!
Yes.
What's the name of the fucking blonde guy that does all the demon stuff in the DC universe?
Constantine.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Constantine.
Oh,
so
God. If you have
the Constantine version of the MCU, you have to make that 18 rated or R-rated, whatever it is, and because it's more fun. That could be your kind of nice little niche part of the universe that people are going to join in because you can have a lot of fun and actually do good. I know it sounds silly saying it, but good comedy bits with the gore and the violence. But having Blade as a PG-13, that's just abysmal. What's he going to fight?
Vampires.
Yeah, it's going to do vampires with no blood. It's going to be vampires with no fucking blood in there.
Like,
that's ridiculous.
How do you pull off a movie like that and make it credible? I just...
Well, look how shit Blade Trinity was, because that was PG-13.
Yeah. Exactly. You're taking on his mantle. We got an actor who can't fucking do his own stunts and martial arts in the first place. So he'll be fucking... His face will be imprinted on somebody who can. We're now getting probably some weak ass violence. He's going to be posing all the fucking time. So, he's going to be like, he'll look like one of those fucking those cheerleaders that spin the fucking pole in their hand and shit like that. But he's going to be doing it with a fucking sword. That's what he's going to be doing. Like some sort of ballerina shit. Looking really cool, but he's not going to be. Oh, it's going to be. I'm already.
Well, look, I mean,
I want to be pleasantly surprised. I want to be pleasantly surprised.
You two are just being negative Nantes, right?
Look, what's your point?
Because look, there are plenty of brutal 12 movies out there that I can start naming for you.
Name me three.
All right. Off the top of my head, Jurassic Park was a PG. And you get somebody literally getting to eat. You get people getting bloody eaten in that.
Yeah, there's no blood in that though.
Yes, there is.
No, there wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Not to the level of like getting it pushed to an R. Like somebody getting
Like,
eaten, you don't see blood getting splattered around or them getting chewed and ripped in half.
yeah,
They just get
yeah,
eaten.
the big game hunter got covered by leaves and shit when he got eaten.
Yeah.
You know, the guy taking a shit got pretty much swallowed whole. You know,
No, to
some
be
of the
fair,
stuff
there is
happened.
there is
Samuel
a
L. Jackson's arm.
arm.
Yeah, but
So
that's about
yeah,
it.
but
But
that was back
that's just an
then
arm.
before they got like overzealous with it because it was like
Mm.
it was kind of like mid to late 90s where they just got. Actually, it was during the Bush era where they got very overzealous
I
with
think
like
Batman,
what.
I
That was the
think
last
Batman,
of the.
I think
Yeah.
Batman Returns, if it was a PG, and that has like people get blown up and God knows what in it.
Yeah, and that caused a huge. That and the two Batman films caused a huge stir in with the ratings people in Hollywood because they're like, this is supposed to be geared towards kids, and it's all this kind of violent and all this kind of shit, and this was like the kind of. This is when you started to see the turning point, and then they were just becoming less and less accepting of what you could get away with as a PG-13. Because if you look at a lot of the 80s films where the violence is ridiculous, a lot of those films are fucking PG-13.
Indiana Jones movies and Star Wars.
Yeah, all
films
that
and
kind of
like
stuff.
that,
Yeah,
Look, the only thing recently,
Okay.
there's one I can only think of recently. That is PG-13, and that's probably Expendables 3. And they threw in the one solitary F-bomb by Harrison Ford, as you do. You know what I mean? And that had action explosions everywhere and people getting shot, but there was no blood. You know what I mean? And you had all these like nameless fucking, cannon fodder henchmen, just getting slaughtered with no blood. Even when Mel Gibson got killed at the end, there was no blood. He got shot several times by Sylvester Stallone.
But look at what the examples that Vance has put
What the
up.
hell?
This shows you how overzealous they are because these films are not fucking PG-13. Like Sucker Punch had nothing in it. Like there was like I don't think there was any blood in it. I mean that film should have been rated R. You got these hot birds in it, and you don't get no fucking. It's clearly a sexualized film, but it had no sexiness in it. That's my gripe with that film. The Dark Knight, I mean, that's a fucking PG. That's not even a PG-13. That was soft cock crap. And I don't know why Episode 3 has even got that kind of rating. And Aliens versus Predator.
It's only because of what happened to Anakin, because even with the kids getting killed, you don't see it. It's only implied.
Yeah.
It's only what happens to Anakin at the end, where he gets, forget the limbs. He just, that's happened so quickly. It's blinking, you miss it.
Yeah, it's when
it's
he's catching on fire and burning and all this kind of shit.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
but my point is that
Soft-cock
it's not necessarily how you what certificate it has. It depends how you do it. Now the thing is,
no, but Gary, look. Before I get annoyed, the point is we're tired of seeing the PG-13 stuff.
okay.
Tired of seeing it. Like they have a million other fucking films and shows that are PG-13, and the two kind of franchises in Deadpool and Blade that should be rated R. Only one of them is. It's not the question of can it be done. Of course it can be done. Do we want it done? No, I don't fucking want it done. I'm sick and tired of pandering to fucking shitty markets like
China,
abroad,
for fuck's sake, yeah, but it looks the same.
Because you can't have any blood at all in them. It's just like...
Well, do what they did with fucking Kill Bill. The moment any blood show gets shown, make the fucking screen black and white for the Chinese audience. Because seriously, like, if the rest of the world has to suffer because, like, some dictator in fucking other side of the world, can't handle a bit of fucking blood for his people, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean...
Yeah, and you can re-edit it. You can re-edit it for the Chinese market, like they do it with all their films.
Yeah, in fact, I'm surprised that China wants the fucking movie Blade. There's got a black man in the lead role,
but also it's got vampires and supernatural elements. I don't even know what they're like with that. I think it's skeletons.
You can see Mahershala Ali they'd be like shrunk down to here. You know what I mean, on the fucking poster for fucking
because it's a black protagonist. So are they going to watch it?
The thing is that I actually agree with both of you because the thing is that the original Blade, the original like what I can't remember what years it came out, like 1990.
98.
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a bloody 18 and Flaming like it kicks ass. Like, you know, like it's like people getting limbs shoved off, people getting chopped in half, people getting
So,
flaming.
Imagine
blown up,
Language
stuff like
was loose.
Imagine
all
going
that.
from the first two films that were so wonderfully violent, especially the first one, to Trinity, which was dog shit, and now to MCU, which will have fucking Blade sitting there cracking one-liner jokes all the time and probably getting fucking overshadowed by like
No,
some
they're
female
gonna
cast
do.
member or some stupid shit that they do with all their fucking protagonists. So yeah, that's what I want to see. The same shit as
No,
all the other films.
they're not going to have Blade cracking one-liners. They're going to make him be the straight man to somebody who's going to be the comic relief, like Ryan Reynolds was in Blade Trinity.
Probably.
You know, but that's how they're going to pull it. They're going to give him some goofy dickhead that is going to work alongside him. Maybe a guy, maybe Whistler. You know, what I mean, if they cast Whistler, by the way, I mean he's just insignificant. In the
I don't know if they've cast
Whistler,
Whistler. All I know is they're gonna have some wisecracking soft cock doing some shit and some fucking one-dimensional bird doing another shit. It's just gonna be like, great, the same shit as before.
But the thing is, Sam, that kind of, I mean, Blade 2 had a guy like that in it, and it kind of worked because it kind of has an interesting dynamic between him and Christopher.
Yeah, Blade 2 was 18 as well.
Yeah, well,
Blade 2 was
yeah,
18.
but Norman Reedus was
that's
great in it. Like, you know, he was great in it, and then the betrayal afterwards and all this kind of shit was. Wait, was he in the second? Yeah, that was the second one, wasn't it?
Yes, it was the second.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was fantastic. It worked, but it wasn't over the top. Whereas in the MCU, we know what we're going to get. That's the point I keep trying to make. You know what's coming. You know what's coming with a PG-13. Whereas with a rated R, you're like, oh fuck. Now I'm interested because now, like, if I look at this slate, personally speaking, I don't really give a fuck about it for the most part. Let me have a look. Where did I put it? Yeah. So Fantastic Four, I'm always going to give a fuck about Fantastic Four because I want to see what they do with it, and there's no way it could be worse.
May the 2nd,
yeah,
2025, which is unusual.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's there's no way it can be worse than the other ones they've made. But
no.
But I mean, I'm going to ask this question now. I don't think that I'm being rude with it, but personally, and this is just personal, and Bill's like DC fanboy, but no, it's
yeah. What is it, Gary?
Yeah, just get to the fucking question.
Like, do you know that Marvel's in a holding pattern?
What?
It's just making just like kind of like the same kind of films over and over again. It's got the same.
I've been saying that for the last decade. They've been making the same film for the last decade since Guardians came out.
Mm-hmm.
They've been making Guardians every single fucking year, and the only people that broke the trend were the Russos up until Endgame, but then they went right back to the fucking comedy in Endgame. So yeah, they've just been making Guardians of the Galaxy ever since that film came out. And for some stupid reason, Disney thought that's the blueprint moving forward. Over the top jokes, crazy soundtrack, and serious moments just ruined with shitty fucking jokes. So yes, all these films, I think Fantastic Four will probably follow the same blueprint. Kang Dynasty wouldn't have if Majors wasn't an arsehole and he was still the main bad guy. Now it just depends who they get. If they get Bushmaster from Luke Cage, I think he'll do a fantastic job as Kang. And he won't stand for any of the silly bollocks either. Blade now is a PG-13. It's just going to be another Guardians with vampires. Thunderbolts, forget it. With that cast, you're gonna be smacking your head against the wall.
It's gonna be a Christmas movie as well, and that's gonna be played for laughs already with fucking Red Guardian there being a big joke. Yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised that Captain America is coming out on July 26th. They could have brought it out maybe a couple of weeks earlier and made it closer to Independence Day, which would have been a great day to bring out a movie like Captain fucking America. So I'm surprised they're bringing out that far into the month of July. I think they could bring it back 2 weeks early, in my opinion.
Yeah, possibly. Hopefully the delays will give the animators the time they need to breathe and get things done. let's
Only
see.
2 films then for 2024, by the way, because
Yeah.
which is fine by me. You know what I mean, nothing, stuff doesn't have to be bloated.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
yeah,
fine.
they are going to make
That's
it.
more than enough. But yeah, just
Oh,
quickly
actually, sorry, I forgot. They're free actually. Deadpool. I forgot about that.
oh right, okay.
That's 20.
All right, let me
Yeah,
just
so
So,
that's
quickly
20.
finish what Vance was saying, please, guys. Um,
Yeah.
I guarantee you, Vanty, it's still not going to be enough time because they're going to make a bunch of stupid last minute changes because that's what Marvel do. That's what drove them crazy. But I think after they fired the woman that kind of oversaw everything from the beginning, I don't know, maybe things will change, but maybe not because like she was actually fucking like really good, but it's just the demands and the constant working with directors that aren't used to special effects as well. This is the other thing. So there was a big clash because they were getting all these indie directors and they're not aware of how things work. So there's all this constant changing and all that. And I expect that to continue. Fucking pay the special effects companies, first of all. And second of all, I don't, I'm in no rush for anything as long as by the time these start coming out, the writers are getting paid their worth as well. Sorry, guys, carry on. Just wanted to get that out of the way.
well, I'll say it's just like I think that as I said, it depends who to get the directors to be these sort of things and how much freedom they gave them. Because what you just said about the resources is absolutely right. Because like they had a lot of freedom with Civil War, with um,
Winter
what's it
Soldier,
called?
Infinity
Winter
War.
Soldier, and yeah. Yes, yes. So they had some freedom with that, and I think if they did give somebody who is, I mean, like if they could get like a big name director to do it, I don't know, like I don't know, I'm trying to think of somebody like a Tarantino or a Fincher or something like that. That could be good, but I don't think they
Yeah,
will. But
well, I mean, you don't need a big director. You just need a director that knows what they're doing. Like, you know, John Watts came out of nowhere and did phenomenal with 3 Spider-Man films, each one better than the last. So it's just about getting somebody that knows what they're doing. Stop trying to just, stop trying to hire the wrong people for the job. Just because it looks good on paper that you've got like your quota up there. If they're fucking good, get them in. Give Deborah Chow her kind of her chance to kind of shine because like that was stolen from her from Lucasfilms. Let her do a fucking film. I bet she'll have an amazing do Shang-Chi too. I bet she'll have a blast with that. But it's just about hiring the right director to do the job. It's as simple as that.
Well, there's some information on the television shows now. What If season 2? No date announced just yet, unfortunately, but it will be announced. I
Oh
think that's
no.
2024. Personally, I can't see it
but
coming
I,
out
Yeah,
this
I mean
year. I
it's
mean,
pretty much done. So yeah, it's probably gonna come out next year.
X-Men 97, that's expected to come out in 2023. Not an MCU show, but X-Men 97 brings the X-Men to their first Marvel Studios production, and it's going to be an animated series taking place in the classic period of X-Men that you remember in the 90s animated series. The story, according to Marvel, will follow a familiar team with the DNA of original show. After the impactful event in X-Men 97 will launch the reunited X-Men into an all-new chapter that will resonate with fans of the original series. They're also bringing back plenty of the original cast: Cal Dodd, Wolverine, Lenore Zan, Rogue, George Boozer, Beast, Alison Seeley Smith, Storm, Chris Potter, Gambit, Catherine Disher, Jean Grey, Adrian Half, Nightcrawler, and Christopher Britton as Mr. Sinister. Though not all of these voice actors will reprise their original roles, with some playing entirely brand new parts, according to Marvel.
It's all
Joining
good.
the cast are Jennifer Hale and doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Echo
matter.
coming out also in 2023. Now I know a lot of people are shitting on this, but I'm just very fascinated to see how you make a protagonist out of a deaf character who's also a mute. For me, that alone has got me very interested to see how you pull that off, regardless of how people might think about the character. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm very happy that all episodes will be out at one time, so we can binge the whole fucking thing and talk about it one time. Um, we also have Loki coming out later this year, maybe in the summer. Actually, what it's saying.
I think it got
we
brought forward. Didn't they announce a date? Wasn't it October?
In this particular website, it says expected summer 2023. We got confirmation of Loki season 2 at the end of the Loki finale. Loki has lots of work to do, including figuring out why Mobius and Hunter B-15 don't recognize him. We're also likely to get more of Sylvie.
I was right.
Who just
October the 6th.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what I
fair
got
enough.
at top of the 6th as well.
Who just unleashed
Sylvie, I
chaos
don't want
upon all the
Sylvie
time.
back, for fuck's sake. We've
There's
had
the
her story.
There's the Ironheart series as well. No date to be announced. Riri Williams, a recent addition to the Marvel comic world, is a genius inventor who's making armor that would impress Tony Stark, whether he admit it or not. And she's going to get a Disney Plus show starring Dominique Fawn, Judas, and Black Messiah. If Beale Street could talk, those are the shows she's been in the lead role. Williams built her suit in her MIT.
Yeah, we know
dormitory
this.
room.
We don't need a synopsis.
Sorry, Agatha Coven of Chaos was fully confirmed that Disney Plus Day. And while we don't know when it's coming, we do know we're more than excited. Are we?
I'm not excited
Daredevil
for any of
Born
these
Again.
fucking things.
Expected 2024, 18-episode series is Charlie Cox's full-fledged Disney Plus series. Apparently, the people who want to make the Avengers movie wants Daredevil to be in it. So lots of work for Charlie Cox. Spider-Man freshman year. The animated series gives us. I mean, this is something I don't want. Because it's going to be Peter Parker without his powers, I believe. Is that correct?
Freshman year? No, it said him at university.
It's continuation from No Way Home.
No, it's not. This is the animated series.
The animated series gives us one thing arguably missing from the MCU Spider-Man movies: another retelling of Peter Parker's origin story. That's
is it? Fuck off!
A journey unlike look, this is very Trump-like. Marvel promises a journey unlike we've ever seen before, and a style that celebrates characters and early comic book roots. And Wonder Man.
I forgot about Wonder Man.
Exists in that reported but unconfirmed stage. I'm going to butcher this name. Yahya Abdul Mateen II. Why do the Americans have these sort of fucking names? He's been in Aquaman and HBO's Watchmen. Is supposedly set to start as Simon Williams, who's running the comics. First saw him as a villain before he became a hero. Fair enough. He worked for Baron Zemo, apparently. Also, there's a Marvel Zombies. That's expected in 2024. How are you about zombies, Ginger?
Don't give a shit about zombies. You've seen one zombie film, you've seen them all. I never understood the hype around Marvel Zombies.
This is the one I've been gassing on. Armor Wars, that's yet to be released. Date. Don Cheadle already being on a Disney Plus show. He's going to get his own down the line. Armor Wars. Is it a series now? It's gone back to series, apparently.
Gone back to series, yeah.
Can't they fucking make up their mind? Armor Wars adapted the comic book series of the same name. He's trying to stop people from taking Tony Stark's shit, and Sam Rockwell's returning as Justin Hammer.
As long as this is like a corporate espionage type show, I'm in.
I want Vision to be in this. The evil Vision, the White Vision. He needs to be in this, in my opinion.
But there is the White Vision's good now.
Well, I just feel like he's in that in between state. You can do it that way if you want. Like he doesn't know what, and I would like to see Don Cheadle knows to him as Jarvis when he was Jarvis. You know, if anyone can get to him, possibly Rhodey could.
There's also the guy that crippled him, so there's history.
Yeah, good point. And finally, Wakanda set series from Ryan Coogler. We're going back to Wakanda, baby, one way or another. A TV series.
If it's Ryan Coogler involved, I'm fucking in.
Well, a TV series that takes in the technological wonderland of Wakanda will be one of 5 projects coming from the partnership between Disney and the Black Panther director Ryan Coogler. No word on cast or crew.
I'm sorry. Is this 5 projects coming down the line with Ryan Coogler?
All it says, I'll reread it again. Will be one of 5 projects coming from the partnership between Disney and Black Panther director Ryan Coogler. Proximity Media.
So
No
that
word
just
on
means
Castle
more
Creed.
Black Panther films and more good shit from the Coogler. Fucking yes. 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 In fact,
Let's
give
hope so,
him
man.
Blade. Let him do Blade.
Yeah.
Give him Blade. Coogler's awesome. Again, he's one of those that, you know, the first Black Panther film was okay. The second one, I've rewatched it about 3-4 times. I just love the tone of it. You know, it was refreshing to kind of not have all the fucking
Head
jokes
pull.
in it. And yeah, I want more from him. I definitely want more from him. He's a great director.
Great.
Yeah, so delays not too fussed about. Sometimes you can have too much of a bad thing, and I think that's what we've been having recently.
Yeah.
Less is more, in my opinion, and need to go
Just
back to
change the
that.
tone of the films. Look, there's been enough. If Marvel had half a brain, they would know that the pushback from Ant-Man, the pushback from Thor, and Guardians 3, it did okay, not as great as they wanted it to do, and all that. Just it's just people have had enough of the jokes. Okay, they just want something meaty and something like if I could watch Fast and Furious 10 and get more encapsulated with the silliness of the story in that than I can with an MCU film, you know you're in fucking trouble. Because as ridiculous as Fast X was, at least they weren't scared to do something. And they didn't have constant jokes in it. Like they even toned down a lot of the jokes in this one as well. And it's just like, yeah, it makes more sense how they did it, even though the film is absurd. But
It's fucking absurd, but yeah, that's what makes it so popular to people. It's not about the comedy; it's about the visuals.
yeah, it's
You know what
about
I
the
mean?
visuals. Yeah. And I had a good time watching Fast and Furious 10. I did. I did.
Yeah,
Fast
me
9
too.
was awful. It was so up its own ass. I hated that film. But Fast 10, you know, Louis Leterrier, you're just going to get absolutely silliness. And Jason
Fucking
Momoa
Jacob.
was
Yeah,
fantastic in it.
yeah.
Like,
If
yeah.
he turns face, I'll be so pissed off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If there's no like, I keep thinking to myself, there's no going back for some of these guys, but somehow they end up being part of the family, so to
Yeah, well, they
speak.
did it with Statham.
And
I was like, how fucking
he just killed everyone in this hospital,
yeah,
and like you know, made him a good guy and shit like that. Him and his brother. You know
yeah,
what I mean? He turned them both good guys. Oh
just
God, you know,
ridiculous.
and yeah, and like Jacob as well, like John Cena's character. I saw
Yeah, the
that
John
fucking
Cena's
coming.
character is now good, guys. I was just like, oh come on,
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
but
I
still
just
more
said the
compelling than an MCU film. That's all I'm saying.
Look, a couple of things for a start as well, and I always feel like Vin Diesel as probably like he's got a victory in his hands here because the Dwayne Johnson stock has fallen big time,
yes,
big fucking time. So much so that he's now having to crawl back to Vin Diesel. Yeah, so he
Yep,
could be he could be Hobbs again.
yep,
You know what I mean? It's
yep. Because
amazing how the fucking
Young
tables
Rock
have turned.
gone,
Yeah,
Black Adam massive flop.
yeah.
Yeah.
XFL.
Well, I don't care about the XFL stuff because that's not him making a loss there. That's the company losing different, like it's expected in the first year, so I don't really count that one out. But yeah, the fact that he's gone back to the series is hilarious. Yeah, and you're right. Vin Diesel just fucking he won in the end, and he
He
keeps
won in the end.
winning. You know,
Yeah, I
Groot.
mean,
He had like all that shit with Groot doing
yep.
well, and yeah, I think there's another
Now I want to
Riddick in the make.
quickly. We need to talk about the actor who plays Namor. Here's that name again. Anyone want to have a go at that name?
Yeah, Tenoch Huerta.
Okay. Unfortunately, we seem to be getting more and more fucking guys who can't keep their hands to themselves, and in various capacities. And he now has been accused of sexual assault, and he could be the next person thrown under the bus. I mean, deservedly so, by the way, or thrown under the coral reefs.
If
In
found
this particular,
guilty, throw the fucking book at him and just recast him. It's not hard to do, you know.
Well,
And
apparently,
I
and I see the way the. Sorry.
no carry on.
As I said, well, apparently he's going to be suing the person who said he did
Made
all
the
these things. No,
allegation.
apparently,
Yeah.
no, apparently she's survived like some sort of sexual assault before this. So like, I mean, so she's pretty credible. So the thing is that I'm just like, can just people just not behave themselves? It's not difficult. All you have to do is no means no. If somebody wants to leave, you let them leave.
Yeah.
Simple.
Unfortunately, if the person has narcissistic personality, it's impossible because it just no just doesn't register. Like refusing them just doesn't register, and so unfortunately, you get shit like this. And let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. There
Let's
are
see what
times,
happens. I don't want to
there
say
have been
yes
times
and all that, but
there have
if
been
so,
times of false
recast.
allegations as well. I'm trying to be very straight on this. I remember Angry Joe had sexual assault allegation thrown his way, and then we found out that the girl actually made it up, and he
Yeah.
was vindicated for it. And I'm very happy that that was the case because I like Angry, even though I don't agree with him on everything. I always find him very entertaining, and I like Angry Joe. So let's see regarding this other dude. I don't know what his history is like. If he has a history,
Yeah,
then fine,
I mean,
then he's fucking guilty.
let's look
If
at
he hasn't, then it's up in the air.
let's look at. I mean, if you look at the Jonathan Major situation, it's that more and more people came out
Yeah, he's got
confirming
history.
what kind of a character he is, what kind of a person he is. So at that point, like I say, if there's more than one story that starts coming out, I'm not here to discredit her, or anything like that, because just whatever happens. But with Jonathan Majors, there was enough evidence there to say, okay, time to recast him, and hopefully justice for the people that he's wronged. Same with Tenoch Huerta. If he's wronged this woman, then he needs to face justice. If he hasn't, and she made it up, then he should sue to get his name cleared. It's just one of those let's wait and see kind of things.
I put Black Adam on the hospital on the hospital television to help me fall asleep during the last admission. True story. Yeah, there's always a cure for insomnia, my friend. And I'm glad you found yours. So yeah, there's various as well. So that's good stuff. All right. So
All right.
yeah,
We can
I
wrap
think
it
we
up.
pretty much covered all our bases. We'll be back tomorrow talking about the dark side of my ring piece. So looking forward to that. I believe you'll be joining
It's a
us for
hell of a
that, Gary.
story to be told there.
I think it's not Thursday.
No, we had to do something on Wednesday last week, which is why we moved it to Thursday last week.
Okay.
But this week we're going back to Wednesday again.
What? Who is it? Which episode? Who's the episode?
I think it's about some particular federation of some sort or some shit like that.
Okay.
I can quickly find out for you now if you like.
Yes, please. While we're here, Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. Holy shit! Is that out already?
Yeah, that's also coming out as well. Yeah,
it is it's Eddie and Mike Graham.
Oh, okay.
Breaking the cycle, the Graham dynasty. Florida became a wrestling mecca for decades until patriarch Eddie Graham and his son Mike. But a series of shocking and unrelenting tragedies threatened to eclipse their legacy. Oh, so it's about about these motherfuckers, and we're not talking about Mike Graham, who's on GB News either. A different Mike Graham. You know what I mean?
No, Mike Graham's dead.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So yeah, that'll be on. Catch us for that, and everyone else out there. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to Nerd the Tube. Take care now. Bye bye.